Chief Administrative Officer for Arua District Local Government, the District Education Officer for the district with the team, the Chairman Arua District Headteachers Association with his executives, my beloved teachers, partners, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. For those who are interfacing with me for the first time, my name is Alfred Okuonzi, the district chairman. I am extremely happy to be here this afternoon hours. I would like to begin by thanking God for this opportunity that He has given for us to meet together. When results were released on Friday, my heart was praying to God, when shall we meet together? When shall we interface together like this? And I want to thank God for having provided us with this opportunity. Two, I would like to thank you, Hon Okuonzi, and the DO for making it possible for us to converge here when the situation is still hot. You know, if you want to bend the metal, you bend it when it is still hot. I want to really thank you so much, Hon Okuonzi, for that. In a very special way, when the results were released, the DO was not here. When we were being roasted on several platforms, I remained calm. They let me be composed because my generals have not told me, and they were not here in this region. I want to thank the DO for coming back with good news for us that has made us to meet together like this. Much as I'm aware that some schools have not received their results, but the little that we have at hand is enough for us to say something. And that is the reason why we are here. Bwana Dio, with your team, thank you so much for making it possible. In the third line, I would like to thank the head teachers for availing yourselves with the partners. I thank you for availing yourselves for very, very important meeting like this. I equate this meeting to the military term called a retreat. You know, when you are at the forefront, the commander will shout from nowhere, retreat, even when you are ready to advance with the war. And what they have sounded here is, please come back. Retreat means come back, let's organize ourselves to begin waging another war. So this meeting is literally to put our heads together at the same wavelength and to go out and wage another war. I want to thank our partners, our development partners, the private schools. Let me see the proprietors or the leaders from those schools. Is Solid Rock here? Let me see Solid Rock. We stand up for recognition. You've done us proud, Solid Rock. You've done us proud. I look forward to getting a day to come to your school. I do not know how the school looks like. Whether you are teaching under a mango tree or what, I do not know. But the other day, driver was saying, let's branch to Solid Rock. I said there will be time for it. I'm happy to interface with you. I thought Solid Rock was a big school and the head teacher is with the stomach. Big one. But I'm happy to see that you are the flat screen. That is quite good. And similarly, several others, the private schools. I want to thank you. You are not existing by mistake. Your existence is because we know that there are some gaps that we could have footed ourselves as government. Our hands cannot reach that far. And that is the reason why you exist as private schools, to foot the gaps. You are aware you are very, very important in the development of this country, the private sector foundation. The whole ministry, even represented in Ministry of Finance, to represent your issues. And as chairman of the district, I represent your issues in West Nile Districts Association, private sector. That's why I'm saying you've made me proud. In the next West Nile Districts Association meeting, I'll talk with my head high up. Much as I'm representing local government, you know that I'm representing you also. When the time comes for me to go to the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, I will also re-echo the cell, say that please, our private schools are doing us proud. You are contributing towards attainment of the national development goals and also realizing the manifesto of NRM under the able leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. I want to thank you so much for what you have done. The other schools, the government schools, whether, now let me, before I touch those ones, the schools that have given us in first grade, Bongova, you are becoming more like a traditional school. Where is Bongova? Headteacher, you are becoming more like a traditional school. Arivu, where is Arivu? Headteacher Arivu. You are becoming more like a traditional school in our region, in our district. And the rest of the schools will definitely measure to the standard. May I therefore say that as district chairman, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. If we register 12 this time, we have some work to do to improve. Even those who scored very well, who got first graders over 100 and so forth, they also have some work to do to maintain their status. It takes a very long time to get a good name, but no minute to lose it. You get me? Even when they have done very well, but next year if they don't perform very well, all those will be trust. So I want to call upon you people, please, do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. The only thing that we need to do now is to strategize in order to improve on our performances. Come the next PLE. We are very capable, very, very capable and competent of producing that. So, as district chairman, I want to say this. You have done your part. You have done your part. You are not the ones to write the result, the examination. The ones you taught, they were the ones to write the exams. So whatever came out, we have to accept. We have to accept it the way it has come, and then learn lessons from the results and forge our way forward. That is the purpose why we are here. As chairman of the district, I'm not going to point fingers. Am I okay? Take it from me, I'm not going to point fingers. It is actually a very good opportunity for us to brighten our name. Next year, all eyes will be on the Arua District. And if we perform very well, they will say, how did they surprise us? Their hands will be on their heads. So let's go back and challenge them by producing very good results. They will be able to write what is called stories of change, success stories. People will be coming for success stories from us. Am I okay? Am I okay? Do you know, I want to say this. Next year, if we go back and do very, very well, how many people can eat a goat? One goat, how many people can eat? Eh? How many? 10 people can eat a goat, only 10. Do you know, I'm not saying that they should go and do other wrong things. You go and improve. If the results will be very, very convincing, we will be surprising some of these schools. Am I okay? Am I okay? If you can produce more than 100 in first grade next year, I promise for you, I pledge for you 2 goats. How many goats? 2 goats. The day you are coming for a meeting like this, the goat will have to be presented first, on condition that you produce above 100. Less than 100, no goat. Less than 100, no goat. So let's go back. Members, it's all about hard work. It's all about what? Hard work. Sleepless nights. It's all about that. So let's go back and put a lot of efforts towards improving the performances. Come the PLE of 2023, let's put extra efforts. As I said, I'm not going to point fingers at you. Take it from me. It is not time to point fingers. It is time to lay strategies to improve on the performances. Finish. That is it. Now, you are not the only one. The stakeholders are many, including me, and the committees, including DO, including the parents. We are all responsible for this result that has come out. We are all responsible. Let's go back and engage our parents. Let's go back and engage our parents. I don't know who is the leader of the parents, I don't know. But to the best of my knowledge, if somebody is a man, a husband to a certain woman, that is the leader. If there is a man who is a father to some children, that is the leader. If there's a mother who is a mother to some children, who is a wife to somebody, that is the leader we are talking about. Stakeholders, the parents. Let's target them. The unfortunate bit is what we now call as parents, at one moment they were also children. So we now have families that are full of children producing children. Now in Arua District, most of our quality foods goes for market. It goes for sale. Then what our children end up eating with their parents is what is called adarkala. You know adarkala? Yes. Useless things that are supposed to be disposed. That is what we feed on. How do you expect the brains of the children to be doing very well when they are undernourished? When they are undernourished, when they are malnourished, how do you expect? Take this message for me in PTA meetings. You know, the Bible says children are the, what do they call it? Anti or Rodrigo Portovleri, that children are the benefits of the wombs. And to marry these women, the man must pay cows. First of all, he is to start by paying dowry. After dowry, he has to pay those bride wells. Now to me, I thought the man would get his reward back by having very good children, educated children, children who are doing very well in class. But unfortunately, the men end up having children who are not doing very well. You know the implication of this. This result is going to affect the human resource that we shall have in the Arua District after 20 years from now. Am I communicating? Yes. 20 years from now, you will see the impact, the kind of men we shall be having. You know, education is the key to economic prosperity. The key is with you. If you want to prosperity in this country, education must be the key. The unfortunate bit, if the children that are supposed to be excelling are not doing very well, you know that the economy is going to be affected some years to come. Because the children will not be able to secure very good jobs. Many of them will be security guards, watchmen, and so forth. These are jobs that are not well paid. So what shall we expect? So I think our men are not acting consciously. A man traditionally is the head of a household. The head of the household is not consciously looking after his wealth. First of all, he's a visitor in his own home. The children don't see him, and so forth. So, I was called Bwana Dio, Bwana Kao, I was called for a meeting in Hotel Africana to tell me the results. Even again, good, it happened the same, I was called. The reasons why children drop out of school. A research was done. Factor number one, why children are dropping out of school, there is poor attendance in our schools, is what is called cost factors. Cost factors is attributed to the parents, inability of parents to provide for the needs of the children who are in school. Why are they unable to provide for the needs of the children? Because they are economically poor. Why are they economically poor? Because they did not go to school. Why didn't they go to school? Because the cycle continues. So cost factor number 1. Now cost factor number 2, it was attitude of the learners. You have been doing them, you have been teaching them. But if you drag a cow to go and drink water, if the cow refuses to drink, shall you force? These children are supposed to derive benefit from education by just seeing you. Teachers, by just seeing you. By seeing us. The benefits of education can just be seen by looking at somebody who is educated. But this, our children are not even having it. You don't need to push a child for education now. You just see it with your own eyes. A child who is very, very intelligent will just see. With a very good IQ, will just see. But our children are not seeing this. Every time they want their parents to be pushing them. Well, how far shall we go with this kind of mentality? Even some children do not know why they are in these schools. So I bring for you studies that was done in France. Why children were not doing very well in the PLEs in France. The researchers found that these children were not doing well because their first year of life was affected. You know what is meant by first year of life? Scientifically, the first year of life is what is referred to as the first 5 years of life. From birth to 5 years. If anything happens there, if a child fails to gain weight for 3 consecutive months, a child that you have produced fails to gain weight for 3 consecutive months, instead of gaining, you have seen that thing called the road to health. On child health card, you are the ones teaching. If a child's weight is not going for 3 consecutive months, is downtrending, this child will have 5 of his bulbs blown away. But one bulb is called bulb of remembering, bulb of perceiving, bulb of thinking, bulb of retrieving, bulb of recognition. One of them gets blown. By bad luck, 3 may get blown. That means the children who are brought before you first needed to appear for rehabilitation. You understand what I'm saying? They first needed to be taken for rehabilitation. But where is our rehabilitation center? Do we have? So I think these are what is called, you know, parent-related factors. Parent-related factors, there are quite many. So that is why I was saying, teachers, you've done your part. You've made your contribution. But that does not brighten you. That does not brighten you. You still have to go back and put extra efforts. So I want to say, Bwana Cow, I appreciate you so much for the measure you have taken. Transfer with Div U and the team. Transfer is one of the strategies. May I request in this meeting, take it positively for change of environment. You know, if you're in one place for a very long time, certain things begin to appear very normal for you. So you change environment. If you are now in one school was maybe a Benjwa, then in another school they will begin calling you Mr. Dick. Because you were too much known there. Change the environment so that you get a new name. You get brightened. Many things change. Let's take it transfers positively. Thank you so much for putting that in place. Number 2, frequent meetings, I agree. Please, can we engage these parents? The meetings will not be between you and DO. No. Engage parents frequently. How I wish we could have some boarding grammar schools. I don't know what the policy says. But if we could have some boarding grammar schools. That time when I was the school management committee chairman, I so much wanted the English grammar school to be boarding grammar school. Where is the head teacher? And that is why power was brought very close. That's why your structures improved. What was remaining was to put a small house. We're talking about unemployment. If we create boarding schools, our parents Some of them will be jobbed there to cook, others will be watchmen. Instead of sending these children back home, let's invest in them in 1 year. Actually, for me, if you entered in me, the cutoff point Div would be from P5. P5, P6, P7 will all be bodied so that we begin now transforming them. We see what comes out. It's all about the extra efforts. Colleagues, let's do something very, very unusual. Unusual this year, 2023. Very unusual things. And that is what we want to do. I'll be more than ready to organize exchange visits. Pick 1 or 2 schools. Wanadio, one of the days arranged for me. With some few schools that have performed poorly, let's drive to Solid Rock. Using my vehicle, I request car to allow me to be off. We drive with these poorly performing schools and fairly performing schools. We drive to Solid Rock. We drive to Mongofa. We drive to Arifu. We see for ourselves. It's all about creativity and innovations and extra work. More meetings I appreciate. Finally, Wanaka, I will request that we need to be on air now. Press conferences, press releases, actual talk shows. Let's speak head teacher of Arif. Let him be on air to tell the whole world what is that unique thing is being to register first grades. What are these challenges? So that schools keep learning. Let's speak Solid Rock. Let them be on air. These 3 schools. We can request RDC's specific airtime on any of the radio stations. Let's be creative. This year should be year of hard work and innovation. Year of hard work and full of innovations to improve on the results. Meanwhile, Dio, Wanakao, with your team, you go for us to some of these districts that are doing very well. What is that unique thing they are doing? Bring it for us so that we see if we can put them into place, into action in Arua District, just to improve. And therefore, I call upon you people, let's be open-minded. Let's not have that stereotype of mind we used to. Our things used to be like this and so forth. And finally, head teachers, disassociate yourselves from our parents, especially on things that can impact negatively on them. You know those things. Things that impact negatively on our parents. Drinking together with our parents is an example. You know a head teacher coming from Mario's house. You know Mario's. Your wife is here, you get locked to somebody. A head teacher with tie is coming from another woman's house. These are things that impact negatively. This business of eating anyhow on the road, I used to think that head teachers were surviving by air. They were not eating food. But these days I see head teachers, you have lowered yourselves, you have degraded yourselves so much. We fear you. You see me here, I'm very, very proud because you are the one who produced me like this. It pains me when people talk ill about their head teachers, and so forth. It pains me. So can we set for ourselves as head teachers a higher standard? A higher standard for ourselves so that we seem to be compliant. If you are saying staff should come early on duty and for you are coming at 10, are you leading by example? If you are saying let's not drink and for you are also drinking, are you leading by example? These are the things. Let's set for ourselves a higher standard. I have had my DO, I like him. Presentation. 2 of the meetings I attended, he was talking about how do you present yourself when you come to office? How do you present yourself when you go to your school? From home to school, are you presentable enough or you're in sandals? Let's set ourselves standard that people see, the learners see the benefits of education in us. I want to say thank you. I could talk until cows come home, but for me, I'm very happy that you brought the teachers here. It's not time to point fingers. But from here, I want to see ourselves going to hold the same meeting sub-county by sub-county. Gather the people in the Ilogiri sub-county. Let's have the same interface where chief is there, the LC3 is there, let them also receive this. Then go to Areva, do the same, go to Ajay, do the same, go to Vora, do the same. You know that schedule, I will leave all other things. I will jump the vehicle and move with you. I'm aware you don't have a vehicle, but we can use my vehicle. Let's use my vehicle to move together. Actually, I'm requesting car, you give me motorcycle. If there's a very good motorcycle there in the end of the departments, give to me, such that if DO draws schedule to go to schools, as a team, I give my vehicle. I use motorcycle for riding around. That is the thing I want to see this year on my part. My vehicle, DO, it is for you to go to the schools, draw the schedule very high, say on this day you are not going to be around, then I will pick Cow's motorcycle, then Cow will use for the water. Okay? I will pick his motorcycle to go home. Then for him, he will use what? Border. That is it. The story of change, a success story. By the end of the year, provided my photo is taken on motorcycle, Cow's photo is taken on border. We want to see result by 2024 January. Am I loud and clear? Members, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much. I want to say I appreciate you, I thank you. Cow, I thank you for this able leadership. I thank you for this able leadership. Headteachers, I cannot thank you enough for this good leadership. Please take the challenges. Don't point fingers. Because reaction is equal to action. You know that. You point fingers, they will also be reactive. But tactically, God should give us the skills of passing the message to them without necessarily having them. Particularly our parents, for them they already annoyed. Now if you are also annoyed, then annoyed will be the annoyance. I don't know where you can. Let me say, let me end there. I'm aware that the results have come. We have happened in first grade, 12 in first grade, and then I'm eating to hear second grade. I'm eating to hear third grade. That is when for me I will rely. Because my keyboard told me pass level is up to grade 3, up to grade 4. So we can compute that and also get our percentages as a district before we kill ourselves. You see, with our very little population, if you compute this very well, you will realize that in the entire district, in the entire region, we might be number 1. You might realize like that because our population is so low. And if only we work that way, I think we will be good. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you.